You got everybody ready, Judge?
Yes, sir, I am. Should I go ahead and start?
Yes, sir, we're ready.
All righty. I want you to raise your right hand if I can know you can hear me. If you can hear me, raise your right hand, please.
Si ustedes me pueden escuchar, levante su mano derecha, por favor.
All right, I want you to keep your hands raised and I'm going to swear you in.
Mantengan su mano levantada y lo voy a juramentar.
Do you swear that any information you give the court
¿Jura usted que cualquier información que usted le dé al juez
will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help your God?
va a ser la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad, lo juro ante Dios?
If you'll tell me the truth, put your hands down.
Y si así es, puede bajar su mano.
All right, my name is Judge Cooper,
Mi nombre es Juez Cooper
and I'll be the judge today for the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
y yo voy a ser el juez en el día de hoy para el Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
I am here to inform you of the allegations against you,
Yo estoy acá para informarle de cuáles son las alegaciones en su contra,
to advise you of your rights,
decirle cuáles son sus derechos,
to set bail on those offenses for which I can set bail,
fijarle fianza para aquellos delitos que se me permite fijarle fianza,
to determine whether you require the assistance of counsel,
determinar si usted va a necesitar la asistencia de un abogado
and to give you the date for your next scheduled hearing.
y para darle la fecha de su próxima corte, su próxima corte a la cual ya está programada.
First, I will talk about your rights.
Primero vamos a hablar de sus derechos.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing,
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio y no decir nada,
but should you give up this right, anything you say may be used against you if your case goes to trial.
pero si usted renuncia a este derecho, esto podría ser usado en su contra si su caso va a juicio.
During this and all proceedings, you have the right to the presumption of innocence,
Durante este y todo el proceso, usted tiene el derecho a la presunción de inocencia
until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
hasta que el Estado pruebe su culpabilidad más allá de una duda razonable.
You have the right to an indictment by a grand jury for felonies or by accusation if charged with a misdemeanor.
Usted tiene el derecho de que se le formule una acusación por el gran jurado si es un delito grave o una acusación para los delitos menores.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury,
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un juicio público rápido y por jurado,
the right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses who are called to testify against you.
el derecho de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a cualquier testigo que sea citado para testificar en su contra.
You may also call witnesses on your own behalf.
Usted también puede citar testigos para que testifiquen a su favor.
You have the right to testify and offer evidence in your own defense.
Usted tiene el derecho de testificar y mostrar pruebas para ser usados en su defensa.
But if you choose not to do so, there can be no presumption of guilt may be raised.
Pero si usted elige no hacerlo, esto no se puede tomar como presunción de culpabilidad.
I will now speak with you regarding your right to counsel.
En estos momentos yo voy a hablar con usted con respecto a su derecho de tener un abogado.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un abogado para que lo represente.
and at this point, I will appoint an attorney to represent you.
Y en estos momentos yo le voy a nombrar un abogado para que lo represente.
You may choose to hire your own attorney at a later point should you choose to do so.
Y si usted gusta, usted puede elegir contratar su propio abogado más tarde.
By appointing an attorney to represent you, either that attorney or someone from that attorney's office should come and speak with you within 72 hours.
Al nombrarle un abogado, ya sea ese abogado o un abogado de esa oficina, va a ir a hablar con usted dentro de las próximas 72 horas.
I will now speak with you regarding your bond.
Voy a hablar con usted en estos momentos con respecto a su fianza.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bond for your release pending the prosecution of the case.
Alguno de ustedes se le va a permitir que paguen fianza para poder salir y el caso queda pendiente para ser enjuiciado.
Bond may be posted using cash, commercial, or property.
La fianza puede ser pagada usando dinero en efectivo, usando una propiedad o usando una compañía fiancista.
If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond in cash to the sheriff.
Si usted quiere pagar su fianza en efectivo, alguien tiene que traer la cantidad total de su fianza en efectivo a la comisaría.
The sheriff office will hold it until your final court date,
La
at which
comisaría-
time...
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
La comisaría se quedaría con este dinero hasta el final de su caso
And then that funds will be returned to the person who posted the bond.
y luego esos fondos le serían reembolsados a la persona que pagó la fianza.
If you use a bonding company, they will charge 10 to 15% of the amount of your bond.
Si usted usa una compañía fiancista, ellos le cobrarían del 10 al 15% de la cantidad total de su fianza.
The fees paid to the bonding company will not be returned to anyone.
Pero la tarifa que usted le pague a la compañía fiancista no le sería devuelto a nadie.
Some of you may use property bonds. If you have a family member or friend who has property equal 3 to 4 times of the amount of your bond, they may pledge. Go ahead.
Algunos de ustedes pueden usar una propiedad. Si usted tiene un familiar o un amigo, ellos pueden usar esta propiedad y la propiedad tiene que tener de 3 a 4 veces la cantidad total de su fianza en capital o plusvalía.
They may pledge the deed with the sheriff's office, and when your case is over with, they'll get their deed back.
Ellos le entregarían el título de la propiedad a la comisaría y cuando su caso termine, se le devolvería el título.
There is a condition on all bonds that you do not violate the law while out on bond.
Todas las fianzas van a tener una condición y es que usted no puede infringir las leyes mientras esté fuera bajo fianza.
Some of you will have a special condition on your bond.
Algunos de ustedes van a tener condiciones especiales en su fianza
That prohibits you from contacting certain person or going around certain places.
donde se le prohíbe ponerse en contacto con ciertas personas o de que vayan a ciertos lugares.
If you violate these special conditions, you'll be rearrested and not be allowed to make a bond.
Si usted infringe estas condiciones, usted podría ser arrestado de nuevo y no se le permitiría salir bajo fianza nuevamente.
If your family member is noted as a victim on your warrant, that person will not be allowed to make bond for you.
Y si el miembro de su familia o su pariente está nombrado como una víctima en la orden de arresto, a esta persona no se le va a permitir pagar la fianza por usted.
For those who are charged with a felony,
Para aquellos que se le acusa de delitos graves,
your next court date is January 13th in 2021.
su próxima corte va a ser el 13 de enero del 2021.
If you're charged with a misdemeanor, your next court date is January 3rd. Hold on, let me check that. It's January 5th of 2021.
Y si a usted se le acusa de un delito menor, su próxima corte va a ser el 5 de enero del 2021.
If you're charged with a misdemeanor and you make bond,
Si usted se le acusa de un delito menor y usted sale bajo fianza,
that court date will be canceled and you'll get a court date for later on in the next year.
esta corte sería cancelada y a usted se le enviaría un nuevo citatorio a más tarde en el año.
You also have the option of speeding up your case.
Usted también tiene la opción de adelantar su caso.
If you choose to speed up your case will be held within the next 7 to 10 business days.
Y si usted elige adelantar su caso, nosotros lidiaríamos con su caso dentro de los próximos 7 a 10 días.
The process of speeding up your case is called waiving.
Y este proceso se llama renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar.
At this time, I will turn you back over to the deputies and I ask you to follow their instructions.
En estos momentos, usted se puede retirar con los oficiales y yo le voy a pedir que sigan las instrucciones de ellos.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
Do you want to do the Spanish speaking males first?
That's right. That'll work.
And good afternoon, Your Honor.
Hello, sir.
I'm Surinder Chad. I'm here for Perez Garcia.
Okay. All right, let me see. They'll tell me who they have at the up first, but I have your information here. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, while we're waiting, if I could just make the court aware, I do have Judge Morris in DeKalb County Superior Court awaiting. I have a hearing over there as well. So if Mr. Norfolk could be moved up to any extent, I would appreciate that, Judge.
Prepared already.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
All right, hold this. Right up first. State your full name. State your full name and step up to the podium. So loud enough for everyone to hear.
Good morning, sir. What is your name?
Buenos días, señor. ¿Cuál es su nombre?
José Manuel Pérez García.
Repita, señor, no le escuché.
José Manuel Pérez García.
José Ramón Pérez García.
Manuel Pérez García. Manuel.
José Manuel Pérez García.
Un momento.
That's my case, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I have you, sir, for Juan Ramos Garcia Perez. This is another gentleman. Okay, so, sir, you are Jose Manuel?
Señor, ¿es usted José Manuel?
Okay. Senor Garcia Perez, you're charged with having no brake lights and not having a license.
Señor García Pérez, a usted se le acusa de no tener las luces de los frenos y de manejar sin licencia de conducir.
Your bond this morning is $1,500. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Fianza es de $1,500. ¿Va usted a poder pagar su fianza, señor?
You know, he's not able to pay that bond at this moment. His family is from out of state. We'll be asking if it's possible to give him a bond reduction. I also have filed sent it to Mrs. Moultrie, and she told me you should have it before, Your Honor, so it can be signed and processed.
Let me hold on, because I have Juan Ramon Garcia Perez as well as a Jose Emmanuel Garcia Perez. Are you representing both?
No, Your Honor. My client's only Jose Manuel Garcia Perez, the one before you.
Okay, all right. Understand. My apologies. One moment.
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty. I do have your paperwork. I see the waiver of preliminary hearing. Got it here. You asked me one other thing that I did not quite get.
If his family's trying to come up with the money, but they're gonna need to send it in from out of state because they're not here. If we're asking if you could give him a bond reduction, I think they can afford $500 right now, Your Honor. They're gonna have to pay a cash bond because a bondsman will not help him through it.
Understand. I will take a look at it. I'm not going to promise you that. I'll have to go back and take a look at his criminal history, etc. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But I understand that. Let Mr. Garcia's know. Well, you may have an option here. Mr. Garcia, there's also an options called waiving, which allows you to speed up your preliminary hearing. That is an option available to you because you're charged with a misdemeanor.
Señor García, usted tiene la opción de renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar por el hecho de que a usted se le acusa de delitos menores. Y lo que esto hace es que acelera el proceso.
I would like to know if he would like to try to speed it up or is he just going to try to make bond? And you can inquire from his counsel if you want to put in something here, you also can, sir.
Yeah, we are asking for it to be waived. If they can come up with the money, they'll pay it. However, I have sent in the waiver. I spoke with my client. I met with him at the jail, explained to him what waiving a prelim means, and I have his consent. So I've signed it, and I signed on his behalf, Your Honor.
I see it all here. Thank you very much. All righty, got it. So at this point, then I'll just say to Ms. Bermudez, I'll let the gentleman know that his counsel has spoken with me, and counsel will be contacting him accordingly. Is that fair, counsel? Would that be fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ok, señor, su abogado habló con el juez con respecto a su fianza y a renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar, y su abogado se va a poner en contacto con usted luego.
Gracias.
Thank you. Nothing further.
And just to clarify, the waiver will be signed. I don't need to do anything else, or do I need to
No.
follow up with the clerk's office?
No, I've signed the waiver, and I'll take a look at the bond reduction.
Thank
So-
you, Your Honor. This concludes my business with the court. May I be excused?
Yes, sir, and have a great day. You're good. I can't hear you.
Cannot hear you.
Okay, all righty. Thank you. All right, let me know who's next up, please.
State your name.
Juan Ramón Pérez García.
Juan Ramón Pérez García.
All righty, Mr. Garcia is charged with failing to have his headlights on and no license.
Señor García, usted se le acusa de no tener los faros encendidos y de manejar sin licencia de conducir.
His bond is $1,500. Will he be able to make bond?
Su fianza es de $1,500. ¿Va usted a poder pagar su fianza?
Parece que ya fue pagada.
I think it was already paid.
All righty. In that case, he's going to get his next court date will be sent to him in the mail. All right, thank
Ese es
you.
el caso, su próxima corte se la van a enviar por correo.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Your name, sir?
Su nombre, señor.
Carlos Adalid Rojas.
Carlos Adalí Rojas.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Rojas, you're charged with not having a license.
Señor Rojas, a usted se le acusa de conducir de manejar sin licencia de conducir.
Bond is normally $1,000. However, I'm going to allow him to sign himself out today.
Normalmente la fianza sería de $1,000, pero yo le voy a permitir que usted salga bajo palabra, o sea, que usted firme su propia fianza.
His next court date will be January the 5th,
Su próxima corte va a ser el 5 de enero
8 a.m. in courtroom 201.
a las 8 de la mañana en la sala 201.
That's all. Thank you.
Eso sería todo. Muchas gracias.
Your Honor, when you do signature bonds, do you want them to still sign a waiver?
No, not required.
Your Honor. Yes.
Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Buenos días, señor. ¿Su nombre, por favor?
Sergio Morales.
Sergio Morales.
Mr. Morales, it is alleged that you obstructed an officer while also being drunk in public.
Señor, se alega que usted impidió el trabajo de un oficial cuando también estuvo embriagado en público.
Your bond this morning is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Su fianza en la mañana de hoy es de $2,000. ¿Va usted a poder pagar su fianza, señor?
No.
No.
Okay. All righty. There's also, well, let me say it this way. If you're able to make bond, your court date will get canceled and you'll get a later court date in the next year.
Si usted puede pagar su fianza, su corte sería cancelada y a usted le pondrían una corte más tarde en el año.
You also have the option of speeding it up. If you choose to speed it up, you'll have a next court date within the next 7 to 10 business days.
Usted tiene la opción de acelerarlo y si usted elige acelerarlo, usted podría ir a la corte dentro de los próximos 7 a 10 días.
Would you like your case sped up, sir, or would you rather try and make bond?
¿Usted quiere acelerar su caso, señor, o quiere usted tratar de pagar su fianza?
Pagar la fianza.
¿Dijo pagar la fianza? Pay the bond.
All right. If he makes the bond, his court date will get canceled and you'll get a next court date in the mail.
Si usted paga la fianza, su próxima corte se cancela y le enviarían su citatorio por correo.
Thank you, sir. That's all.
Gracias, señor. Eso sería todo.
Soy Rubén de Dios.
Hey, sir, your name, please?
Rubén de Dios.
I'm Siri. Pleased to meet you.
Sorry, hold on. Too much-
¿Podría usted repetir su nombre, señor?
Rubén de Dios.
What was that name again? I'm sorry.
Rubén de Hoyos.
Okay, Ruben Diaz. Understand. Got it. Mr. De Geos, it is alleged you had a no license plate on your car. You have no insurance. You have defective equipment, as well as having no license. The bond, sir, is $3,000. Would you be able to make bond?
Señor, se alega de que usted no tenía placas en su vehículo, de que tenía el vehículo, algo en el vehículo dañado, de que no tenía aseguranza y de que no tenía licencia de conducir. Su fianza de $3,000. That's fine.
Ya le van a pagar. Me dijeron que iban a pagarla.
I was told that they were going to pay it.
Okay. Let him know when he makes bond, that day will get canceled and you'll get his next court date in the mail.
Si usted paga la fianza, su próxima corte sería cancelada y usted recibiría un nuevo citatorio por correo.
Okay, that's all. Thank you, sir.
Eso sería todo. Gracias, señor.
Your Honor, was there an attorney that needed to see his client?
Well, I have, what about, before you do that, what about Uvento Morales or Sebastian Castillo Ramos?
Both of them said they could speak English.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Bermudez, I think that concludes your business with the court. I want to wish you a good day, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. Good seeing you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All righty, let me have Mr. Davian Norfos, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, Mr. Arnold, good afternoon. I'm sorry, Mr. Norfos, good afternoon. I want to let you know that your attorney, Mr. William Arnold, is on the hearing, so he's able to hear everything that's going on. Mr. Norfos, it is alleged that you did an improper lane change, and there's 2 counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, as well as possession of a weapon during the commission of an offense. Again, these are allegations. Your bond this morning, sir, is $25,500. You be able to make bond, Mr. Norfos?
Yes.
All righty.
Judge, well, I'm sorry.
Sir.
Go ahead, Judge. I'm sorry.
Your next court date, Mr. Norfos, is the 13th of January at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January 13th, 8 a.m., courtroom 201. Go ahead, counsel.
Yes, Judge. My client's 19 years old, and he's never been in any trouble. He's local. He graduated high school at the Excel Academy in Henry County. He actually is in a very important time of his life right now. I've spoken to his family. They have retained me, but they do not have a lot of funds, Judge. I'm doing this, I guess, low bono is the word I'd use. What I would ask, if possible, Judge, if you can convert at least part of that bond to a signature bond, or if the bond could be lowered so that he can go ahead and get about his life, Judge. In regards to the facts of the case, I know that that's not been brought up at this point. However, he was in someone else's car at the time of his arrest, Judge. So there are mitigating circumstances. I would just hate for him to have to sit in jail because his family could not come up with that amount. So what I was intending to ask for, Judge, was a $10,000 bond total. However, given that there seems to be a bond preset, and I understand that, I would just be asking for at least part of that to be a signature bond so that he can go ahead and make the bond and get out.
All right, I will tell you that based upon the allegations, I understand what you've said. But based upon the allegations that they include 3 felonies, I'm not authorized to do a signature bond in that regards, but I will take a look at it and see what I could do. Okay, sir?
Okay, Judge. Should I just await that order?
Yeah, and it's gonna be a while for me to get through all of these because I have 2 days worth of
Understood.
folks to go through. So it should get to the jail probably a little later on this afternoon.
Okay,
But
thank you, Judge. And any lower amount, I understand the signature bond may not be possible, but if Your Honor could consider a lower amount, we would greatly appreciate that.
Understood. We'll take a look at it.
And that's all I had. May I be excused?
Yes, sir, and have a great day.
You too, Judge.
All right, I'll proceed how you like me to proceed, Mr. Johnson. All righty. All right, Miss Faith Hope. It is alleged that you made harassing phone calls. Do you understand the allegations, or do you require me to read it to you, ma'am? All right, and Miss Hope, the bond is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am?
May I ask you a question, Your Honor?
Well, hold on now. When you make bond, you have to stay away totally from Mr. Fritz Georges. You're not to be able to contact him or have anybody contact him. Should you do so, or it is alleged that you do so, you'll have a new charge, which will carry up to a $20,000 fine or a 10-year sentence. Now, again, you've heard that I'm appointing counsel to assist you. You're charged with a misdemeanor. The date for that for court is January the 5th. Should you make bond, that day will be canceled and you'll get your next court date in the mail. Or of course, you can speed it up. What is your decision? You want to just try to make bond, or do you want to speed it up?
I don't think I'm going to be able to make that bond, Your Honor.
So you want to speed it up.
Your Honor.
Ms. Hope, you're losing me. I mean, I ask you, will you be able to make bond, or you want to speed it up? Speed it up or make bond? This is a true choice. Tell me which one.
I'd like to speed it up, Your Honor.
All right. The deputy there is going to have you sign something called a waiver. Okay. I will then, when it comes back to me, I will sign it to let the clerk know that you want your case sped up. All right, ma'am. What was the question you have?
The question was, I've never really been in trouble, Your Honor, and I'm really not understanding what's going on here, and I would like
Okay. All right. I'm appointing counsel to assist you. Okay. That person should be contacting you within 72 hours, and that person will provide you all the guidance and time that it takes to make you aware of everything. Okay, ma'am? I can't do that this morning. I have a pile of folks to get through. Plus, that's not my role. All right, ma'am. Thank you much.
State your name again.
Good morning, ma'am, or afternoon. Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
Next to the break.
What is your name, ma'am?
Armbrister. Deja Armbrister.
Okay, got it. All right, give me a second. All right, Ms. Armbrister, it is alleged that you committed the offense of battery. Do you understand the allegation, ma'am, or do you require me to read it to you?
No, sir.
You understand? All right, got it. All right, now the bond is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am?
Say that again.
The bond amount is for your release from jail is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am? Okay. Now, ma'am, when you make bond, you're to stay away from Kim Seth. I may not be pronouncing that last name correct.
Say that again. What's
When you make bond, you're to stay away from Kim Seth. Okay, the lady who you had the interaction with, you got to stay away from her. Now, should you make bond, okay, your court date of January 5th will get canceled and you'll get your next court date in the mail. Okay, ma'am? And again, as I've stated earlier, I'm appointing counsel to assist you. So either that attorney or someone from that attorney's office is to come and see you within 72 hours. Okay, ma'am? Thank you. Nothing further.
Step up, say your name.
Hello.
Say your
Hey,
name.
good morning. Good afternoon, ma'am. What's your name, please? I did not hear you.
Alexia Green.
Okay, Ms. Green, it is alleged you committed the offense of battery. Do you understand the allegations, Ms. Green, or you want me to read it to you? You understand? Okay. All right, Ms. Green, the bond is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, Ms. Green?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Green, there's a condition of your bond that you have no violent contact with Quintarius Green. You can go back home, you can be around him, just no hitting, shoving, or anything of that nature. Okay, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, ma'am, if you make bond, okay, your court date right now is January the 5th. But if you make bond, that date will be canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. Thank you very much, Ms. Green. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
All right. What's your name, please? Okay, that kind of it went out. Are you Tercia Mills?
No, sir. Valencia Henderson.
All right. Thank you. All right, Ms. Henderson, let me check one thing here. All right, Ms. Henderson, it is alleged that you 2 counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Do you understand the allegations or do you require me to read them to you?
I understand.
All right, ma'am, your bond this morning is $14,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, ma'am. Your next court date is going to be January the 13th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January the 13th, 8 a.m., courtroom 201. And again, I've appointed counsel to assist you. So someone from attorney's office should be to see you or contact you within 72 hours. Thank you, ma'am.
How you doing, sir?
I am well, ma'am. Say the name again for me, please. Mills. Ms. Mills, it's alleged that you made terroristic threats, simple assault, as well as simple battery. Do you understand the allegations or do you require me to read them to you, ma'am?
I understand, sir.
All right, Ms. Mills, your bond this afternoon is $15,000. Will you be able to make bond, Ms. Mills? Okay. All right, Ms. Mills, when you make bond, you stay away from Antoine Dukes. Okay. Now, your next court date, ma'am, is the 13th of January at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January 13th, 8 a.m. courtroom 201. Do you have any questions, Ms. Mills?
Yes, sir. I have one question. No, never mind. No, sir. No, sir.
All right, good enough. Thank you.
Hello, Caressa Robinson.
Ms. Robinson, you say?
Yes.
All right, give me a second. We're going to the next day now.
Robinson, Carissa, she was on day one, y'all.
All right, hang on a second. I might have just missed it.
Then I got Shaniqua Styles after her. It should be in the.
All righty, I just missed it. Hold on a second. Robinson. All righty, ma'am. It is said that you drove with a suspended or revoked license, and also you had a tag that concealed the identity of the vehicle. The bond, ma'am, is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Robinson, the court date right now is scheduled for January the 5th. But if you make bond, that day will get canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. It'll probably be like probably February or March. Okay, ma'am? All righty. And again, I have appointed counsel to assist you. Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Hello, ma'am. Ms. Styles? Ma'am, it is alleged that you committed the following offenses: home invasion in the second degree, battery, criminal damage in the second degree, as well as cruelty to children in the third degree. Based upon the allegations, ma'am, I'm not authorized to grant you a bond today. I am appointed counsel to assist you. Your next court date, Ms. Styles, will be on January the 13th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January the 13th, 8 a.m., courtroom 201. Thank you, ma'am.
Go ahead and step up to the podium and say your name.
Hello, ma'am. What's your name, please?
Tasha Tillery.
Ms. Tillery, it is alleged that you committed the offense of criminal trespass. Do you understand the allegations, or do you require me to read it to you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Ms. Tillery, the bond is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, Ms. Tillery?
I don't know.
Okay, not sure. Ms. Tillery, by the fact you're charging a misdemeanor, you have an option of waiving a preliminary hearing, which just means you want to speed it up. It's not going to affect any of your rights. If you choose to waive or speed it up, you'll have a hearing within the next 7 to 10 business days. So what that means is that rather than January the 5th, you could probably have it around, December 8th or so. So, Ms. Tillery, what is your decision? Do you want to just try and make bond and have it go later on in the year, or do you want to waive?
If I waive it.
Also, if you waive it and you can make bond, you can still make bond.
Oh, okay, I'll waive it.
All righty, ma'am. The officer there is going to have you sign a document. So that's all I have, ma'am. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ma'am. What's your name, please?
Stacey Brown.
Your voice went out.
Stacey Brown.
Brown, Miss Brown. Okay. All right. So we're going to the give me 1 second. All right. All right, Miss Stacey Brown. it is alleged that you committed the following offenses. One count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. One count of crossing the guard line with drugs or alcohol. And one count of possession of weapons or drugs by an inmate. All right, your bond today, ma'am, will be $20,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am?
Is that that's not 2%?
Depending on where you go, they'll charge you about 10%, which would probably be anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000. Anyway, would you be able to make bond, ma'am?
Well, can I waive the rights for a speedy trial and then maybe I'll stick and make bond?
No, ma'am, that's not applied to you. I will. I understand you trying to think this through, but just stick with me. I mean, you know, okay. That doesn't apply to you, ma'am, because you're charged with a felony, and I'm not gonna be disrespectful to you. I understand what you're trying to do, so let's just stick with me, though, okay? All righty. I'm giving you counsel, okay? Can't even think of the word that I'm trying to use at the moment. Anyway, your next court date, ma'am, will be January 13th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January 13th, 8 a.m. courtroom 201, and I've appointed counsel to assist you. So counsel or someone from that office will come and talk with you, okay, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Right, thank you, Ms. Brown.
Robin Letters.
All right, Ms. Buttery, you're alleged with possessing controlled substance, crossing the guard line with drugs, as well as possession of drugs by an inmate. Your bond this morning, ma'am, is $20,000. Will you be able to make bond, Ms. Buttery? Okay, I'm appointing counsel to assist you. Your next court date, ma'am, January the 13th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January 13th, 8 a.m., courtroom 201. Thank you, ma'am.
Jamala Clancy.
Ms. Clancy, ma'am, it's alleged you committed the offense of criminal trespass. The bond in those matters is $2,000. However, I'm going to allow you to sign yourself out this afternoon. Your next court date, Ms. Clancy, you're going to get it in the mail. All right, ma'am?
All righty, thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Cedrica Gibson.
Ms. Gibson, good afternoon. It's alleged you committed the offense of criminal damage in the second degree. The bond this afternoon is $5,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am?
Yes.
All righty, ma'am. Give me 1 second. All righty. I'm appointing counsel to assist you. Your next court date is the 13th of January at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January 13th, 8 a.m. courtroom 201. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, I'm Jamia Graves.
Ms. Graves, it is alleged that you made harassing phone calls. Do you understand the allegation, ma'am, or do you want me to read it to you? Okay. What is Miss Lofton's first name?
Fatima.
Okay, Fatima. All right. All righty. Now the bond is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond? All righty. Now, when you make bond, you'd have no violent contact with Miss Lofton. Okay, you can go back around the home, be around her, just no violence. All right. If you make bond, the court date, which is currently scheduled for January 5th of next year, will be canceled, and you'll get your next court date in the mail. It'll probably be around February or March. Any questions, Ms. Graves?
Awesome.
Thank you, ma'am, and have a good afternoon. Hello, ma'am. Rhonda Gray? All right. Ms. Rhonda Gray, it's alleged that you had no tail lights on your vehicle, and then there's allegations of trafficking in amphetamines. I'm not authorized to grant you a bond this afternoon, Ms. Gray. Your next court date, ma'am, will be on the 13th of January at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January 13th, 8 a.m. courtroom 201. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Tamika Hurd.
Ms. Hurd, it's alleged that you committed the offense of theft by receiving stolen property. Do you understand the charge, or do you want me to read it to you, ma'am?
You can read it to me, sir.
All right, Ms. Hurd. It basically alleges that you were operating a Chrysler Town and Country with no tags. During the stop, it was discovered that you recently purchased a vehicle, which had a private bill of sale. Alrighty, during the interview, the officer smelled marijuana coming from the vehicle. You acknowledged that you had had a cigarette prior. And while they were conducting a search of the vehicle, there was a handgun that was located by the driver's seat. The gun was reported stolen out of DeKalb County back in 2018. That's basically the allegations, ma'am, that you possessed a gun that was stolen. All right, the bond is $5,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am? All right, you have appointed counsel to assist you. Your court date is going to be the 13th of January at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January 13th, 8 a.m. courtroom 201. Thank you, Ms. Hurd. Yes, ma'am. What's your name, please?
Fatima Lofton.
All righty. Give me a second. All right, Ms. Lofton. Ms. Lofton, you're alleged to have committed the offense of battery. Do you understand the allegation, or do you require me to read it to you?
No, I understand the allegations, Your Honor.
Now, the bond is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am?
I will, Your Honor.
Now, I've put on here that you'd have no violent contact with Jamaica Graves. Now, I understand the relationship, but during this time where people are just surviving, I'm going to take a chance that y'all can go back home and, you may have your differences without laying off hands on each other.
Yes, Your Honor, I appreciate that. That's my and it should have never even happened.
Understand. All righty. Now, the court date right now is set for January the 5th. But if you make bond, that day will be canceled and you get your next court date for later on in the year. Okay, ma'am? And I've appointed counsel to assist you. So all the best to you and your daughter, ma'am. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge. My name is Kenya.
Kenya. Let me say your name again, please.
Kenya Mitchum.
Okay, that's what I thought. Give me 1 second, Ms. Mitchum. All right, Ms. Mitchum, it's alleged that you committed the offense of aggravated assault. There's also an allegation of battery and theft by taking. You understand the allegations, or do you require me to read them to you? You understand them? All righty, now. All right, what is Mr. Abron's first name?
Gerald.
Darrell?
Gerald.
All righty. All right, a couple things. First, your bond is $15,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Now, when you make bond, you're to stay from Mr. Gerald Abron. Can't call him, can't go around him, can't be around him. If you violate that, you're subject to a new charge and no more bond for the remainder of this process. I've appointed counsel to assist you. Your court date is January 13th, 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January 13th, 8 a.m. courtroom 201. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon. I'm Ashley Perry.
Hello, Miss Ashley Perry. Miss Ashley Perry, it is alleged that you committed the following offenses: theft by deception, identity fraud, conspiracy to commit a crime, as well as charge of racketeering. Your charges, the bond this afternoon is $32,000. Will you be able to make bond, Miss Perry?
I will.
All right, Miss Perry, I've appointed counsel to assist you, And your next court date, Ms. Perry, is January 13th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January 13th, 8 a.m., 201. Thank you, Ms. Perry.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Tiffany Turner.
Hello, Ms. Tiffany Turner. Ms. Turner, it is alleged that you committed the offense of driving a suspended or revoked license and having an expired tag. The bond this afternoon, ma'am, is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, Ms. Turner?
Yes, but I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If since the tag was expired on, it was a paper tag, since it was expired on the 25th, if I bring that paperwork in, will that at least lessen my bond?
All right, I will tell you this, Ms. Turner. As the judge sitting today, I can't get into that, but I have appointed counsel to assist you. And they're supposed to contact you within 72 hours. Talk with them, and you know, who knows what may happen. But right now, the court date is scheduled for January the 5th. If you make bond, as you said you'll be able to do, that date will be canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail. It'll probably about March or so. Okay, ma'am? Do you have any other questions, Ms. Turner?
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, and have a good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge. My name is Tiana Abrams.
Okay, Ms. Abrian. All righty, you're charged with it's an alleged you committed the offense of simple battery. Now, Ms. Abrian, I'm going to deny the allegations today. Not that it didn't happen, but there didn't give me sufficient evidence from which I can make sustain the allegations. So even though I'm going to sign something that you should be released today, that charge could be come back up. But for today, I'm dismissing them. Thank you, ma'am.
Right now. Good afternoon, Judge. My name is Irma Williams.
Ms. Williams, is okay. Your case is different from everyone because you're not charged with something here. It is alleged you're wanted out of Philadelphia. I'm going to give you the short version. If you don't understand the short version, then there's a 3-page document that I can read to you. But I think we'll get it together. Where'd you go to high school in Philadelphia? Did you go to high school in Philadelphia?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
South Philly High.
South Philly High? Yeah, I'm a Germantown grad myself. All right, here we go. It is alleged you're wanted out of Philadelphia. So you can contest extradition, which is contest going back to Philadelphia. If you choose to contest extradition, you will stay with us for a period of 30 days. Okay, let me back it up. If you choose to contest extradition, you can contest extradition on 4 very limited grounds. The first one is whether or not you are Irma Williams, the person named in the paperwork. 2, whether what you're charged with in Philadelphia is actually an offense in that state. 3, whether the paperwork is in order. And based upon those 3 things, the 4th one is whether or not then you meet the requirements of being a fugitive. Should you choose to contest extradition, you will stay with us for an initial period of 30 days, during which the law enforcement folks at the state level will make sure that they have the paperwork in order, that's the right person, and all those things. If after 30 days they haven't got it together, you can still remain with us for an additional period of 60 days for them to get it together. If after 90 days they haven't gotten it together, then you'll be released. That's contesting extradition. Should you choose to waive extradition, they will be notified that you're here. They'll have a reasonable amount of time to come and get you. What is a reasonable amount of time? I always tell folks at least less than 30 days. Do you understand the requirements of challenging extradition and waiving extradition, Ms. Williams?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Williams, what is your decision? Do you request to challenge extradition or do you request to waive extradition? All righty, the deputy there will have you sign some documents and I'll sign it, and Philadelphia will be notified that you're here and they'll have a reasonable amount of time to come and get you. Thank you, ma'am. Your name, please?
Shamarie Williams.
All right, Ms. Weems. Ms. Weems, it's alleged that you, well, hold on, there's two sets of things here. All right, let me do this two different ways. Well, no, there's only one way to do it. All right, now, Ms. Weems, your paperwork came for both the 30th and the 1st. I'm gonna handle it all at one time. All right, it is alleged that you had a child restraint violation, tag violation, concealing the identity of the vehicle, knowingly driving a suspended or canceled registration, no insurance. Well, 2 counts of child restraint violation. There's also a charge of giving a false names, address, and date of birth, obstruction of an officer, and having no license. Now, Ms. Weems, I'm going to be denying there's 8 allegations here. I'll be denying 3 of the allegations. Because again, not that I just don't have sufficient evidence to sustain that. So going forward, Ms. Weems, you'll have 2 counts of child restraint violation, no insurance, concealing that improper tag, as well as driving a suspended or canceled license. Your bond today, ma'am, is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. When you make bond, the court date right now is January the 1st. I mean, sorry, January the 5th. When you make bond, that date will be canceled and you'll get your next court date in the mail. It'll probably be around March or so. Any questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Thank you. That's all. Hey, do you have a Valencia Henderson?
Oh, yeah. Henderson. Step back. Henderson.
Valencia.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, 2 cases, I forgot.
All right, no problem.
But did you do both for Williams?
Yes, I combined Weems at one time. I must have missed Henderson's.
No problem.
All right, Ms. Henderson, it's alleged that you committed the offense of aggravated assault. So I did that. I'm denying you bond this morning. And when you make bond, you have to stay from Mr. Marquise Hill. Now, your court date, ma'am, is the 13th of January at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Oh,
All right, thank you, ma'am. That's all.
All right, Carol. Y'all keep it rolling. Go to the next person. Say your name when you get it. Let's keep it rolling.
All right, give me 1 second, sir. All right, what is your name, sir? Mr. Carroll. All right, Mr. Carroll, there's 2 allegations here, loitering and prowling and possession of drug-related objects. I'm denying the loitering charge. Your bond, sir, is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir? Yeah, right, your system went out. Okay, all right. Now, Mr. Carroll, the court date right now is scheduled for January the 5th. You also have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing, which means that you can speed the case up. The case will be handled around, anywhere from now till the middle of December. Would you like to have your case sped up, sir? All righty. That's called waiving. I'm going to make a note here. The deputy there will have you sign something, and I'll sign it to let the clerks know you want your case sped up. Thank you, sir. What's your name, sir?
William Cleveland, sir.
Mr. Cleveland, it's alleged you committed the following offenses: DUI less safe, improper lane change, and failing to have your headlights on. Your bond this afternoon, sir, is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
I have to pay 10% of that, sir.
Well, that's what somebody's gonna pay to the bonding company. Will you be able to make bonds, sir? Sorry, is that a yes or no? I didn't hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, if you make that bond, your court date of this January the 5th will be canceled, and you'll get your next court date in the mail. You also have an option of speeding up your court date called waiving, in which case you'll have a next court date within the next 7 to 10 business days. Let me back up and say something. If you make bond, that court date will be canceled, and you'll probably get a court date for like March of next year. Or again, now you can speed it up, and it can be handled within the next 7 to 10 business days. What would you like me to put down here, Mr. Cleveland? You want to try to make bond, or you want to speed it up?
I want to try to make bonds, sir.
All righty, sir. Thank you much. That's all. Hey, Mr. Cousins, it's alleged you committed the following offenses: driving a suspended or revoked license and improper backing. The bond is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Cousins?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Cousins, if you make bond, that court date will be canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail. It'll be for later on in the year. You also have the option too, sir, of waiving, which means you can have the court date done within the next 7 to 10 business days. Do you want to waive, or you just want to try to make bond and handle it later? All right. Thank you, sir. Make bond, you'll get your next court date in the mail. Sir, what's your name, please? Fambro. Mr. Fambro, it's alleged that you committed the offense of cruelty to children. Do you understand the charge, or do you want me to read it to you, sir?
I understand.
All right. The bond is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond?
Sure.
All right. If you make bond, your court date right now is scheduled for the 5th of January. You make bond, that date will be canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail. And of course, you've heard me talk about appointing counsel to assist you, and someone should be contacting you from the counsel's office. Thank you, Mr. Fambro. What's your last name, sir?
Arnett, sir.
Hartnett. Okay. Mr. Hartnett, it's alleged that you committed the offense of battery, family violence, as well as criminal trespass. Do you understand the allegation, or do you want me to read it to you?
You can read it to me, sir.
All right. Basically says you push Whitney Hartnett, causing a bruise on her right shoulder. That's the one. Let me get to the other one. All righty. You broke her iPhone 7, as well as damaged you guys' TV. All righty. So that's the criminal trespass, damaging the property of another. Now, Mr. Hartnett, normally when there's an issue of family violence, the standard is, you ban the person from going around that address and no contact with the other persons. However, I'm going to allow you to do all that. What I'm going to put in here, though, is that you have no violent contact with Ms. Hartnett. So the bottom line is, can you go home and, just try to live peacefully? No putting hands on each other, that kind of stuff. No breaking up, nothing. All right. Now, if you make bond, again, that date will be of January 5th, will be canceled, and you'll get your next court date in the mail. Thank you, sir.
I didn't hear my bond, sir. I didn't hear my bond.
$4,000.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
You tell me your name?
No, I told you, hold on. I'm the one slow. All right, sir. Let me have your name, please.
Reginald Hale.
All right, Mr. Hale, it is alleged that you committed the offense of loitering or prowling. The bond is $1,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Sir.
I'm sorry?
No, sir.
No, okay, got it. Now, Mr. Hale, there's also an option, if you're to make bond, that day will get canceled and you get your next court date later on in the year. But you can also waive, which speeds the case up. If you choose to waive, your case will be handled within the next 7 to 10 business days. Would you like your case sped up, sir, or do you want to just hang around, try to make bond?
Speed up, sir.
I'm sorry?
Speed up.
Sped up.
Right.
All righty. The deputy there is going to have you sign something, which I'll sign for the clerks to know that you want your case sped up. Thank you, Mr. Hale.
All right. Next person in line. Let's keep on moving, gentlemen.
Your name, sir?
Marvin Hayes.
Mr. Hayes, it's alleged you committed the following offenses: concealed identification of the motor vehicle, driving without insurance, driving unknowingly suspended or canceled registration. The bond is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir? All righty. Should you make bond, the court date of January the 5th will be canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail. Your next court date is probably going to be, around March or so. Any questions, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Give me a second. All right, sir. What's your name, please? One more time. Last name. Laredo.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Lou. Okay, got it. Sir, it's alleged that you operated a vehicle DUI less safe, made an improper lane change, defective equipment, and failed to have your headlights on. Your bond this afternoon, sir, is $3,500. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, and now, Mr. Laredo, when you make bond, that date will get canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail. Your new court date is probably going to be around March or so. All righty, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, and I've appointed counsel to assist you. That's all. Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Eric McKibben.
All right, Mr. McKibben. What's the name of that young lady that you had this issue with, sir?
Teresa Jones.
What's the first name?
Teresa Jones.
Teresa Jones. All right. Now, all right, let me go ahead and run through some things. It's alleged that you're charged with the offense of battery. The bond in those matters is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
I'm gonna try to, sir.
Understand. All right, now, if you make bond, that court date of January 5th will be canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. You also have the option of speeding it up, which will be happen. Your court date will be in the next 7 to 10 business days. You want to just try to make bond, or you want to speed it up, or you can still waive and still make bond. What would you like to do?
Try to make bonds.
All right. Now, you and Miss Jones, y'all don't share the residence anymore, do you? All righty. So staying away from Miss Jones shouldn't be an issue then for you, should it?
Sure.
All right. Good enough. All righty. You got to stay away from her. Now, I'm going to put down here the court date of January the 5th. And again, if you make bond, that day will get canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. Thank you very much, sir. What's your name, sir?
Motley.
All right, Mr. Motley. It is alleged that you committed the following offenses, sir. 2 counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, 1 count of loitering or prowling, and 1 count of possessing a weapon during the commission of a crime. Your bond this morning, sir, is $26,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Can you repeat that? How
All
much?
right. $26,000.
Okay.
All right, sir. Your court date, sir, is January the 13th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January 13th, 8 a.m., courtroom 201. Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Bill.
All right. Give me the last one again. Give me your last name. Smith. All right. Mr. Smith, it's alleged that you loitered or prowled as well as drinking in public. The bond is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
No, sir.
All right. Okay, hold on. Okay. Now, if you're able to make bond and made bond, your court date will get canceled and you get a court date later in the next year. You also have the option of waiving a preliminary hearing, which is speeding it up. If you choose to waive it and speed it up, you'll have a court hearing within the next 7 to 10 business days. Do you want to waive? Or do you just, I'm sorry, yes? I can't hear you. I mean, you're moving around. I'm not sure if you're talking to me or not.
I want to waive.
All right, that's fine. That's clear. Very nice. The deputy there will have you sign something, so I'll know you're waiving, and I'll sign something so you can speed it up. Thank you. All right, next up. Let me have your name, please.
Taylor.
Mr. Angelo Taylor, it is alleged that you committed the offense of simple battery as well as battery family violence. The bond is $5,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir? Understand. Now, Mr. Taylor, you also, should you make bond, the court date of January 5th will be canceled and it'll be rescheduled for later on in the year. But you also have the option of waiving, which is trying to speed this thing up, in which case you'll have a hearing within the next 7 to 10 business days. Do you want to also waive? If you say you want to waive and you can still make bond later, that's fine. It's the option given to you. I'm sorry?
I would try to waive it up on whichever one.
You broke up.
Say if that's an option or both of them are the same thing if I waive, no matter what.
Nah, if you waive, it's just speeding it up, and after you waive, you can still make bond. So I'm gonna have you sign something there with the deputy that will let him know you want a case sped up. And if you're able to make bond, you can still do that, sir. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Taylor. What's your name, sir? Give me your last name.
Yusuf, this is the add-on, Your Honor. Idea.
Get good enough. Give me a second. All right, sir, it's alleged that you drove without a license. The bond is $1,000. Will you be able to make bonds, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to allow you to sign yourself out this afternoon, okay? Your court date is going to be on the 5th of January at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. All right, that's all.
Your Honor, we have the second group ready for the speech.
Let me ask you a question from the first couple people on the first group before I do that. Let me know when you're ready.
Sorry, Your Honor, I was muted. I'm ready.
Okay, all right. How about a James Johnson?
He bonded out.
Okay. Next, hold on, I should have started from the top. How about a Benjamin Ellison?
We have Ellison. He's gonna be in the second group though. He got mixed up.
Okay, no problem. What about a Dion Staunton?
He bonded out, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. I'll be ready for the second group in about 1 minute.
Wait on you.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody, if you can hear me, I want you to raise your right hand. That way I know you can hear me. Raise your right hand. Keep them up, keep them up. Keep them up. I'm gonna have you swear affirm the information. Should you give any information to the court today, it'll be the truth. So keeping your right hand raised, do you swear or affirm any information you'll give the court this afternoon will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. If you so swear or affirm, put your hands down. All righty, I'm Judge Cooper, the presiding magistrate this afternoon. I'm not here to, take a plea in your case or talk to you about anything that went on outside that brought you here. I'm here for the following purposes. 1, to advise you of the allegations against you. 2, to advise you of your rights that you have. 3, to set bail or bond on those offenses for which I'm authorized to set bail. To talk to you about counsel and appointing a counsel to represent you. And finally, to tell you your next court date. Those are the very specific things I'm here to do this afternoon. All right, let's start with your rights. All right, first of all, you have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up that right, anything you say could be used against you if your case goes to a trial. You have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond all reasonable doubt. You have the right to an indictment by grand jury for felonies or by accusation if you're charged with a misdemeanor. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses who are called to testify against you. You also have the right to call witnesses on your behalf. You also have the right to testify and offer evidence in your own defense, should you choose to do so. But should you choose not to do so, there can be no presumption of guilt raised, meaning if you choose not to speak, can't take it to mean you're guilty. All righty. Now, let's talk about counsel. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and per the order of our Chief Judge, Wanda Dallas, today we're appointing attorneys to represent everyone. You can hire your own attorney at a later time, should you choose to do so. By appointing an attorney to represent you, either that attorney or someone from that attorney's office is to contact you within 72 hours. That's the person to whom you explain whatever you need to explain, because as a judge, I'm not able to explain anything to you. Now let's talk about bond. Some of you will be allowed to post an unrestricted bond for your release pending the outcome of this matter. Bond will be posted using cash, commercial bonding company, or property bond. I'll talk with you first about a cash bond. Let's say I say your bond is $3,000 and you have a family member or friend with that amount of funds. They come and they post a bond with the sheriff's office. When your case is over with, that same person goes and get the full amount of their funds back. If you do not have someone with that amount of funds, then you may use a bonding company approved by the sheriff. Bonding company charges 10 to 15% of the amount of your bond. So for a $3,000 bond, the bonding company will charge a family member $300 to $400. The family member pays that amount to the bonding company. The bonding company then comes and posts your bond with the sheriff. Or 3, if you have a family member or friend who have equity in property equal 3 to 4 times the amount of the bond, they come and they place a deed to their property with the sheriff's office. When the case is over with, they go and they get their deed back. Now understand, on all bonds, there's a general condition that while on bond, you'll remain law-abiding and not violate the terms of break the law. You'll not violate the law. That's a general condition on all bonds. On some bond, there'll be a specific condition such that would prohibit you from contacting certain persons or going around a certain place. Understand that if you violate the terms of a specific term of a condition on your bond, you'll be rearrested, subject to a new charge, and not allowed to make bond for the remainder while this case is pending. Now, if a family member is named as a victim on your warrant and there's a no contact provision as a part of the bond, then that family member will not be allowed to make bond for you. Again, if a family member is named as a victim on the warrant and there's a no contact provision as a part of your bond, that family member will not be allowed to make bond for you. Now, there's certain conditions where I'm also not authorized to grant you a bond, such as if you're currently on probation or parole, I'm not authorized to grant you a bond. Finally, court dates for felonies is January 13th. Okay, court date for misdemeanors is January 5th. If you make bond, that date will be canceled and you get your next court date for later in the year. If you're charged with a misdemeanor, you may waive your preliminary hearing. Waiving your preliminary hearing is saying, I want to speed it up. If you choose to waive your preliminary hearing rather than January 5th, you'll have a court date within the next 7 to 10 business days. Again, I'll repeat that sequence. Felonies, your court date is January 13th. Misdemeanors, your court date is January 5th. If you make a bond, and I'll encourage everybody to make bond, your court date will be canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. Your court date will be later on in the year. If you're charged with a misdemeanor, you may waive your preliminary hearing, which is an acknowledgement that you want your case sped up. You're not admitted to anything. All your rights are still the same. It's just a decision you're making that you want your case sped up. All right, at this point, I'm going to turn you back over to the deputies. Just follow their orders. And when you come up, I'll speak with you individually. Hey, sir, what's your name, please?
I'm Siri. Pleased to meet you.
All right, what's your name? Didn't hear you. Give me your last name. I think they have you on mute down there.
I got that, Judge Ellison.
That's quite all right. What's your name, sir?
Benjamin Ellison.
You said that kind of fast. Just give me the last one, last name.
Ellison, E-L-L-I-S-O-N.
Got it, Mr. Benjamin Ellison. Sir, it's alleged that you drove too fast for conditions, had an improper lane change, and operated a vehicle DUI less safe. Your bond this afternoon is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Ellison?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Ellison, if you make bond, as you heard me said, the court date for January the 5th will get canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. Also, Mr. Ellison, I've appointed counsel to assist you. And that's all. You have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Bill, say your name. Go ahead. Yep, MC.
Hello, Mr. Reginald Bell. Sir, it's alleged that you committed the offense of criminal trespass and simple assault. The bond is $5,000. Will you even make bond, sir? Okay. Now, if you make bond, that court date will be canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. You also have the option of waiving, which is speeding it up. Would you like to waive, sir, to have your case sped up? Or do you just want to make bond and have it put down later on in the year?
I would like to, I'm pushing when would the preliminary be, you say, sir?
If you speed it up, it'll be the next 7 to 10 business days. If you make bond, it'll be pushed into next year sometime.
Okay, if I speed it up, then I would not. If I wait on the preliminary.
If you speed it up, you can still try to make bond, sir. Yes.
Okay. But if I don't, when will I get a preliminary hearing?
All right, I'll try to say it one more time. All right. Just track with me, Mr. Bell. All right, preliminary hearing. Okay, January 5th. Okay, now track with me. See, you're all over the place. Okay, if you're not gonna track with me, I'm gonna make this quick. You're not gonna understand. All right, now, if you waive, it'll be within the next 7 to 10 business days, which means you're gonna have your preliminary hearing by the middle of December. Now, you can waive and you can still make bond. Okay, and if you make bond, you'll get your next court date in the mail. It's as simple as I can make it, Mr. Bell. What would you like to do, sir?
I don't want to waive the preliminary.
All right, sir. Got it. All right, you're not quite getting it. All right. So you're gonna try to make bond. Your next court date will be on January the 5th, 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. Let me say something else to you, Mr. Bell. Waiving is not waiving a preliminary hearing. Waiving is speeding it up.
Let's speed it up.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. All right. The officer there was going to have you sign something, sir, letting me know you want to speed it up. I will sign it, present it to the clerk, and they'll speed it up for you, sir. Now, one final thing. Even though you said you want to speed it up, you can still make bond, okay, sir? Thank you, Mr. Bell.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Are you Mr. Bland? Mr. Bland has said you're alleged to have committed offense of theft by taking. The bond is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Well, I'm gonna try, Your Honor.
Understand. If you make bond, Mr. Bland, that's going to cancel your date of January 5th, and you get a court date further on in the year. You also have the option of waiving, which means speed it up, which means you'll be in front of another judge within 7 to 10 business days to handle the matter. Should you choose to speed it up, you can still make bond. So do you want to speed it up?
Yes, sir.
All righty. The deputy there is going to let you sign something, and I'll sign it, letting him know that you want to speed it up. All right, sir?
Appreciate it, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, give me 1 second, sir. All righty. What is your last name, sir? What is your last name? Burnett.
Burnett.
All righty. Now, sir, it's alleged that you conceal the identity of a vehicle as well as not having license. The bond today is $1,500. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
I don't know. I can try.
Fair enough. I need to let you know, Mr. Burnett, if you make bond, that court date of January 5th will be canceled and get pushed down the road. We also have the opportunity, sir, of what's called waiving. It's just a decision you want to speed it up. If you speed it up, you can still make bond. But if you speed it up, you should have an next court date within the next 7 to 10 business days. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'll speed it up.
Okay. All righty. The deputy there will have you sign something, sir. I'll sign it and let him know you want to speed it up. Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. What's your name, please?
Justin Coe.
Hey, Mr. Coe. It's alleged you committed 2 counts of trafficking. I'm not authorized to grant you a bond this afternoon, Mr. Coe. Sir, your court date is going to be on the 13th of January in courtroom 201, and I've appointed counsel to assist you, Mr. Coe. Thank you, sir. Your last name, sir? Mr. Holloway, it's alleged that you gave false name, address, and date of birth. The bond is $1,000. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Holloway?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Mr. Holloway, if you make bond, the current court date of January 5th will be canceled, and you'll get your next court date in the mail. Your court date will probably be for later on in the next year. All right, is there any questions?
Sir, if it's $1,000, I just gotta give them like $100, $200.
For $1,000 bond, you're probably gonna have to give them the whole $1,000. But you can talk to your counsel about that, sir. I mean, I can't advise you in that regard. All right, thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, sir. What's your name? Bobby Howard?
That's Kirkland.
Kirkland. Mr. Kirkland, it's alleged you committed the offense of simple battery. The bond is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
I was gonna ask. My mom told me to ask for a signature bond.
Well, isn't that nice that your mother asked you to do that? And that's the lady you pushed down. Now, isn't that nice of her?
It wasn't like this.
No signature bond. The bond is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Sure, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, here's the next question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I let you go back into your house or not? Because generally where there's an issue of this, there is a no contact, no go back to that address. What should I do, sir?
I just talked to my mom last night when I on the phone.
Sir, I didn't ask you, did you talk to your mom? I asked you, what should I do, sir?
You go back home, sir. That's my mama, sir. I don't got.
Your activity, sir, tells me that you're a man.
Oh, no, sir. I'm on.
We'll deal with it. All right, your bond is $3,000. You can't make bond.
I can't.
I'm sorry. You said you can't. Will you be able to make bond? You said you will. I'm sorry. All right. If you make bond, your next court date of January 5th will get canceled, and your court will get you'll get another court date later in the year. Now, since you seem to at least care a little bit about your mother, you're talking too much. You're talking too much.
I'm sorry.
Put your mask on. Hold your mouth.
I'm gonna allow you to go back home. We'd have no violent contact with your mother. Okay? She cares about you. You don't seem like you care much about her. That's all I have. Thank you. Goodbye.
Sir, what does that mean?
Bye. Your name, sir? I'm sorry, I did not hear that.
Howard.
Howard, okay. Mr. Howard, it's alleged that you had you drove while a distracted driver, a tinted window violation, one count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, one count of possession of marijuana 1 ounce or less, and one count of use of drug-related objects. Mr. Howard, this afternoon, your bond is $10,500. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Howard?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Howard, your court date, sir, is going to be on January the 13th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. January 13th, 8 a.m., 201. Thank you, sir. Your last name, sir?
Martin.
All right, Mr. Martin,
Yes,
it is
sir.
alleged that you obscured your license plate. You possess marijuana 1 ounce or less, as also possess drug-related objects. Your bond this afternoon, sir, is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Martin, when you make bond, that court date of January the 5th will get canceled, and you'll get your next court date in the mail. All right, sir?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Your name, sir?
Tony.
Tony?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. It is alleged that you improper lane change, driving suspended or revoked license, drug-related objects. You had one count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, also forgery, some financial transaction card theft, as well as identity fraud. Sir, I'm not authorized to grant you a bond today, so I have to deny you bond this afternoon. I am appointing counsel to assist you. I'm appointing counsel to assist you. And your next court date, sir, is going to be on the 13th of January of next year. Okay, sir? All right. Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Ashley Castillo Ramos.
All righty. Hold on. All right, Mr. Rojas.
Ramos.
Ramos. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, Castillo Sebastian. All right. All right, sir. It is alleged you possess marijuana 1 ounce or less. The bond is $1,500. However, I'm going to allow you to sign yourself out this afternoon, and you're going to get your next court date in the mail. All right, sir?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Hey, so what's your last name? You said Hunter?
Yes. First name Thomas.
What's your last name? What is your last name?
Yes.
Smith. Okay. Mr. Smith, it's alleged that you committed the offense of stalking. The bond is $5,000. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Smith? Okay, all right. Mr. Smith, as a condition of your bond, you cannot go back around that address of 8585 Parkside Drive, nor can you contact her. You have to stay away from Miss Pamela Sims. Now, the court date, sir, is January the 5th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. But you're charged with a misdemeanor, so you can have that case sped up. In which case, rather than January 5th, you could have a next court date here within the next 7 to 10 business days, probably by the middle of December. What is your decision, sir? Do you want to speed it up, or do you just want to try and make bond?
I'm gonna make bond.
All righty, sir. When you make bond, you'll get your next court date in the mail. Thank you, sir. That's all. What is your name, sir? Just give me your last name.
Scott?
Scott. All right. Thank you. Sir, it's alleged that you drove with an expired or suspended license, as well as an expired or invalid tag. The bond is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Scott. When you make bond, that court date of January the 5th will be canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail. That's all, Mr. Scott. What's your name? What's your last name, sir?
Yep.
You say Smith?
Yep.
All righty. John Harry?
Yes.
All righty. Sir, it's alleged that you committed the offense of battery as well as simple assault. The bond is $6,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Now, the condition of your bond is that you can't go back around Miss Pamela Smith, nor can you go back around the address of 11849 Markham Way in Hampton. Now, I figure you have stuff there to get, so I'm putting on here that within 10 days of your release, you can contact the sheriff. They will go with you to help you get your stuff, and that's for your protection, so there's no more allegations made against you. Now, Mr. Smith, you also have the opportunity or the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. If you waive your preliminary hearing, you'll be in front of the judge within the next 7 to 10 business days to handle your case. Do you want to just try to make bond, or do you want a case sped up?
Try to make bond.
All righty, sir. So that court date of January the 5th will be canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Last name? Mahone?
Or Moore.
Okay. First name? I'm sorry? Okay, got it. You're charged with obstructing an intersection and having no license. The bond is $1,500. Will you be able to make bond?
Yes, that.
All righty, when you make bond, your court date right now is set for the 5th of next year. When you make bond, that day will get canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. All right, thank you much.
Last name Mahomes.
All right. All righty, sir. Mr. Mahone, it is alleged that you committed criminal damage in the 2nd degree, obstruction of an officer, as well as reckless conduct. The bond, sir, is $10,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
So that'd be 10% of that.
Well, that's what the bonding company may charge depending upon who you contact. So will you be able to make bond, sir?
Yes, sir. I think I can make it, sir.
All right, no problem.
Right at like 1,000 to 1,500. So
Understand. Now, sir, another thing. When you make bond, or should you make bond, you have to steer from Brandon Cartmill and Christine Cartmill, and you can't go on their property. Okay, sir? You can't even have anything go across the fence on their property. Now, you also have the option of waiving a preliminary hearing. It's a decision you're making that you want your case sped up. So again, you have the option of making bond, but should you think you may not be able to make bond, you can have your case sped up. You can also say you want to waive and still make bond later. What do you want to do?
I think I can make bond.
All right. All right, sir. Hold on a second. What am I doing here? Let me check something. Give me 1 second. Okay. Hang on. Let me check myself. Let me check myself. All right, got it. Yeah, got it. All right. So if you make bond, I made a mistake, sir. All right. Your court date, your case is a felony case. So your court date is the 13th. And you're not allowed to waive if you're charged with a felony. Your court is going to be the 13th of January at 8 a.m. But you can still make bond and the case get pushed back to later on in the year. All right. Thank you, sir. I can't hear you. Go ahead.
They're saying how long will it take the bond company to see that I can post?
Sure, I can't answer that question. I don't know how the bond company works. All right, that's it. That's it. You should have one more gentleman.
All right, Yarn. What was the name of that person? I don't have anybody else.
Douglas Rhodes.
Oh, he bonded out.
Awesome.
And sir, I know Mr. Kirkland, he was talking while you was giving out information. He did not hear his bond.
It's all right. Hang on a second. I think it was $3,000. Let me take a look. Hold on.
I think it was too. I wasn't sure.
And it pushed his mama down the stairs. I'm gonna go back home. $3,000.
Gotcha. Thank you, Yarn.
Hey, in submitting those sheets back to me, appreciate it. They're kept in different, one stack for each day and alphabetical, if you don't mind.
Actually, the court appointed attorney forms has already been faxed over to you.
Okay. All righty, sir. Thank you very much and have a good one.
Yes, Your Honor, I had them in that order also. I'll be sending over the waivers and the fugitive justice form